From IBM's open gamble to Apple Silicon's shock, meet the three seismic pivots that rewired the global PC power map. North America, 1981 to 1995. Standard Made is the story of how openness crowned Wintel and set a global rhythm. Cupertino, 1977. Apple steps onto the map with ambition and polish. Apple II Plus VisiCalc turns a hobby box into an office necessity and sparks demand across North America. VisiCalc makes microcomputers essential by translating numbers into decisions for managers overnight. Westchester, Pennsylvania. Commodore chases scale and price for the masses. Het to C64. Commodore floods homes with affordable power and colorful games. Fort Worth, Texas. Tandy brings computing to Main Street retail. The TRS-80 Model 1 puts CPM-era power on store shelves and into school labs. 1977 to 1981, North America. Islands of incompatibility keep software, peripherals, and users trapped. Redmond, Washington. Microsoft builds credibility with tools before it meets the PC moment. 1975 to 1981. Basic and developer kits earn Microsoft a front row seat to the coming standard. Boca Raton, Florida. IBM mobilizes a skunkworks to crash the PC party. The IBM PC 5150 arrives with brand trust, expansion slots, and a path to legitimacy in business. At $2,665, buyers pay for IBM's aura, service, and room to grow. Santa Clara, California. Intel stands ready with a general-purpose brain for anyone to buy. The 888 marries 16-bit compute to an 8-bit bus, balancing cost and capability. Open, multi-sourced CPUs end exclusivity. Any builder can compete on the same silicon. MS-DOS on IBM hardware becomes the lingua franca that others can license without IBM's gatekeeping. 1981. IBM publishes BIOS behavior and bus specs, inviting an ecosystem to bloom without asking permission. Houston, Texas. Compaq sees the loophole and the opportunity. A Compaq portable copies behavior, not code, and broadens the market on day one. Cleanroom BIOS proves legality and ignites a wave of confident cloners. Columbia, Maryland. Columbia Data Products earns an early compatible badge. MPC 1600 shows compatibility can be engineered, not inherited. IBM follows with its portable PC, but cloners already set the pace. Cupertino's counterpunch arrives with creativity and a famous challenge to conformity. The Macintosh dazzles with a mouse and icons, a new way to think at a desk. Elegance collides with economics. Fewer apps and higher prices slow the march. Compaq Desk Pro 386 jumps ahead on performance and proves leadership beyond cloning. 1984 to 1986. Enterprises chase compatibility. Tandy retreats to home and schools. Windows 1 hints at a GUI future, but lacks the power to pull users off DOS. Windows 2 improves, yet the moment still belongs to text. Windows 3.0 lights the fuse. A usable GUI meets fast 386 boxes. Excel and Word on Windows create a flywheel that pulls the platform into default status. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Lotus defined the spreadsheet era under DOS. As Windows rises, Lotus 123 loses its grip on the category it created. Orem, Utah. WordPerfect once owned word processing for serious users. The Windows era shifts loyalties, and WordPerfect's dominance fades. Windows 95 makes the GUI the operating system, not just an app on DOS. Op culture meets product. Jay Leno and Start Me Up make software feel like a launch event. Chart. Watch Intel and Microsoft revenues compound through the early 90s as the standard scales. Austin, Texas. Dell enters with a different way to sell and build. Build-to-order towers ship fast, customized, and without retail friction. From $506 million in 1990 to $2 billion in 1992, Dell's ascent becomes undeniable. Sioux City, Iowa. Gateway's cow spots promise friendly value by mail. Direct value bundles meet small business needs with charm and price discipline. 1988 to 1994. Direct sales/channel costs and tee up the coming web storefronts. Enterprise standards reduce support headaches and lock in Windows-compatible fleets. A modular value chain takes shape. Intel inside, Microsoft on top, specialists everywhere. Scotts Valley, California. Seagate rides the storage boom. Capacity soars and costs plunge as hard drives become their own arms race. Armonk, New York. IBM tries to claw back control in software. OS/2 arrives late. Network effects already entrench Windows. Scale rewards the standard. Intel's volume compounds into a moat of R&D and marketing. Commodore's brand still echoes across living rooms. By 1994, the Wintel tide drowns the Amiga dream, and Commodore goes under. 1990s. Antitrust scrutiny reshapes bundling behavior, while the platform endures intact. 1990 to 1995. Every new user, app, and device strengthens the lock-in loop. 1992 to 1995. Early offshoring seeds pull manufacturing gravity toward Asia. Summary. Open docs and licensable DOS created clones. Windows and IT standards hardened network effects. Direct sales and components drove scale. Asia and America, 1995 to 2010. Globalized scale turns design into logistics and brand into supply chain execution. IBM's Aptiva brand notches retail presence but misses the profit core. Glossy CRT bundles speak consumer, not IBM's enterprise soul. Consumer losses push IBM to double down on services and big iron. Dell weaponizes inventory kerns as the phone line gives way to the web. A structural gap appears, about 2% direct versus roughly 14% indirect channel costs. Palo Alto. HP looks for leverage beyond boxes. HP absorbs Compaq to buy scale and vendor muscle in a deflationary industry. Attach and account relationships matter. Printers, services, and fleets soften price wars. City of Industry. Newegg takes the parts counter online. A grid of choices turns enthusiasts into their own integrators at checkout. Miami. Tiger Direct packages value for bargain hunters and SMBs. Barebones and bundles move through a growing e-commerce artery. Gateway's identity remains beloved but vulnerable. E-Machines ties bind. The acquisition ushers in an outsourcing-first playbook. Factories fade from the brand's story as contract manufacturing takes over. Taipei. Compal emerges as a quiet giant. Design and build for others at staggering notebook volumes. Taoyuan. Quanta perfects the high-yield notebook workshop. Yields, capacity, and discipline make Quanta a global backbone. Taipei. Wistron offers neutral capacity to many brands. Cost and speed tuned to serve rivals without favor. Taipei. Pegatron sprints for fast consumer cycles. Short lead times and thin margins define the race to refresh. Taipei. Acer blends ODM roots with a global face. Acer folds Packard Bell into a European beachhead and scales outward. Taiwan to China. By 2000, a large share is built on the mainland, chasing costs and clusters. Beijing. Lenovo grows at home first, then looks outward. Lenovo buys IBM's PC business, inherits ThinkPad, and acquires global credibility. ThinkPad T-Series signals enterprise durability across conference rooms worldwide. Domestic scale plus a world-class brand lifts Lenovo toward number 1 by volume. Chart. Vendor share consolidates. A handful of names command global shipments. Houston. Compact's logo lingers as its legacy rolls inside HP. LTE notebooks show early mobility ambition from a clone pioneer. Cupertino prepares to reshape laptop ergonomics. The PowerBook 100 introduces the now standard palm rest and pointer up top. Armonk. IBM sets the premium bar for mobile professionals. ThinkPad 700C's red trackpoint and color LCD define executive chic. 1996 to 2005, notebooks demand new supply chains for LCDs, mini drives, and thermals. Apple makes thinness a brief, and the industry listens. MacBook Air slides from an envelope and resets what a laptop should look like. SSDs bring speed, reliability, and longer battery life, shifting from luxury to default. Santa Clara. Intel rallies partners around a thin and light banner. Ultrabooks showcase slim designs to answer the air and accelerate the shift. Procurement power rules. Margins compress as only scale defends. HP leans into services to buffer the commodity storm. EDS joins HP to deepen enterprise ties around fleets and infrastructure. Richfield. Best Buy's blue shirts arbitrate the crowded aisle. Shelf space becomes leverage. Floor control extracts vendor concessions. Richmond. Circuit City falters as the retail map consolidates. SARS exposes single-region fragility as Asia-centric supply chains seize up. 2008 to 2009. Demand collapses, discounts surge, and inventories bite back. Dell peaks as the direct model spreads, then stumbles into the financial crisis. Summary. Asia's clusters and ODMs squeeze costs. Mergers leave a few giants. Web commerce and retail shift channel power. Asia and North America, 2010 to 2025. New architectures upend x86 comfort and bring AI onto the lap. Cupertino sets sights on mobility at tablet scale. iPad reframes casual computing and diverts wallets from entry laptops. Redmond answers with hardware that blurs categories. Surface 2-in-1s fuse tablet ease with laptop productivity. Mountain View pursues the browser as the platform. Chromebooks make simplicity, security, and price a winning formula. Education lifts Chrome OS above Mac in global laptop share at points. Apple's CPU migrations become a strategic art form. 2006 Core Duo Max align with x86 and expand developer horizons. Boot Camp lets Macs run Windows, widening use cases and comfort. M1 arrives. Apple Silicon fuses CPU, GPU, and memory for stunning efficiency. Performance per watt becomes king. All-day battery life becomes expected. Chart. Mac volumes inflect as the ARM transition stokes demand. Santa Clara. AMD re-enters the fight with a new playbook. Ryzen 2017 restores competition across desktops and notebooks. By 2024, AMD nears 34% in desktop CPUs and around 28% in servers. Intel still leads PCs, but must defend on desktop, laptop, and data center fronts. 2019 to 2024. TSMC's node leadership empowers fabless rivals as Intel slips on process. San Diego. Qualcomm eyes PCs with mobile DNA. Nuvia's acquisition brings high-performance ARM core talent in-house. Snapdragon X Elite targets Windows laptops with custom Orion cores. Copilot Plus class claims up to 22 hours of local video playback on ARM efficiency. Redmond's next bet is AI-first PCs. Copilot Plus PCs badge NPUs as required kit for on-device intelligence. The first wave is ARM-led as HP, Dell, Lenovo, and Asus ship Snapdragon X designs. 2024 to 2025. Privacy and speed promise. The killer local AI use case is still forming. Analysts expect about 44% of notebooks to be AI PCs by 2025, installed base before killer app. Hsinchu. TSMC quietly holds the keys to modern compute. About 54% foundry share and dominant sub-7 nm capacity concentrate risk and capability. 2021 to 2022. Lead times stretch to 26.5 weeks as demand and shortages collide. 2023. Inventory unwinds compress margins when normalization arrives. Taipei. Asus turns engineering into identity. ROG gaming rigs package desktop-class frames into portable thrill machines. Performance portability keeps a roughly $12.8 billion market energized by enthusiasts. 2020s. Sustainability becomes a spec, from recycled plastics to repairability scores. 2018 to 2024. Browser-first workflows blunt OS lock-in and redefine what a PC can be. Lenovo sustains top volumes with China's strength plus global reach. Taiwan's Acer and Asus punch above price by marrying design with ODM muscle. Seoul. Samsung's displays and memory add lift to selective PC pushes. Beijing. Xiaomi brings phone-era value and sleekness to pressure the mid-tier. 2024 to 2025. NPUs join CPU and GPU as table stakes for modern laptops. Fabless wins. AMD and Qualcomm ride TSMC's advanced nodes to compete at the top. Copilot Plus, hero devices signal a category turn. AI without cloud latency at your fingertips. Summary. Apple proves ARM at scale, and Windows follows. NPUs drive AI local. TSMC's pace reshapes who can lead. Redmond again curates the layer where work gets done, now with AI built in. 1988 to 2025. Platforms climb the stack from Wintel to multi-arch hardware and AI tool chains. Palo Alto steadies as a services-savvy PC stalwart in a more fluid platform world. 1995 to 2025. Standards pick winners, supply chains pick places, and AI rewrites the spec sheet. Endnote. 1981 to 2025, mapped from Boca Raton to Hsinchu, one standard at a time, one pivot at a time. From beige boxes to AI notebooks, the road bends with three movements that still shape tomorrow's PCs. Beat, standard made. Beat, scale globalized. Beat, architectures